Well, what's in it? Describe it.
Oh, okay. So there are two guys, and they're on horseback, and they're looking for something. So maybe they're scouting.
No. Where's the horizon?
The horizon?
Where is it?
Yeah, it's at the bottom.
That's right. Walk over to this painting. Well?
Right, okay, so there are 5 cowboys, you know, they could be Indian.
No. Where's the goddamn horizon?
It's there.
Where?
At the top of the painting.
All right, get over here. Now remember this. When the horizon's at the bottom, it's interesting. When the horizon's at the top, it's interesting. When the horizon's in the middle, it's boring as shit. Now, good luck to you.
You're listening to The Night Before, a movie podcast. Each episode, we find a unique place in the city and share a drink and our thoughts about the movie we watched the night before. This is Lee, and I am joined, as always, by my husband, Jesse.
We're back.
We're back. A common trend with our new video series is the take two.
Take two. Recording issues, technical issues.
Something is always not recording.
But I'm not chewing pepperoni this time, so that's good.
You missed that. That's on the outtakes.
Right.
No, our audio wasn't recording, so we did a kind of a 2-minute intro. It was really good. And
we're not going to do it
didn't
again.
work.
Yeah, we're going to do it again.
No, yeah.
So we are having pizza at Lee's Grocery.
At a pizza place.
It's our number 2 favorite pizza.
Mm-hmm. We're outside on their back patio.
It's a really nice atmosphere. We've been coming here
Slide
a really
patio.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of our favorite places to hang.
Used to be a grocery store, corner store.
Hence Lee's Grocery.
Hence the name. And now it's a cool little pizza spot, beer spot. They always serve like cool
beers.
Small, local, not always local, but
not always local, but a lot
good
of
choices.
Local. But tonight we're drinking our first beer.
I'm going to scoot over a little bit because look, I'm looking at us in the frame, trying not to look at it much, but we got to get some equal spacing here. What are you drinking? Tell me about it.
This is called Polar Bear Plunge. It's a double IPA.
Do we know where this beer's made?
It is a home brew.
Some
According
guys
to the
or
internet,
gal's garage.
Some girl or gal's garage. It's from Bear Party Brewing.
Okay.
Home brew. United States. It just says United States.
Could their brewery name be called Homebrew?
No. I looked on Untapped or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Thing.
All right.
No, it just.
So anyway, we got some pizza.
Actually.
We got their
really
Minor
good.
Threat pizza. It's like a pesto-based thing. I took a little camera B-roll of it, so we'll throw to that right about now.
Solid. Here.
Yeah.
Just like that?
Well, the snap was when it would cut.
Oh, okay. And then we have our beer number 2 in the
Always
in the
got your
waiting.
backup. I got a sour. I don't know who made it, but it's a sour. We just grabbed it.
I can't remember the name of the one I got. It's
You got another
it's
IPA.
an IPA, and I just lost my train of thought on what the name of it is, but I'll check it during the bathroom
Maybe
break.
we'll
That is inevitable
we'll
for
cut
me.
in like the board. We'll take a picture like we did on our last one of our previous
I
episodes.
remember what it's called.
Oh,
It's
what's it
called
called?
Fancy Papers.
Fancy Papers. I remember that now.
IPA, yeah.
But we don't know who makes it.
We don't know who makes it. I think it's local.
So we just saw a movie.
We just saw a movie, so.
Even though this is the night before. I do want to bring up the movie we watched the night before to start.
Right? Okay, yeah, right. We
Briefly.
did watch a movie last night, and we just went to a movie. So
Tonight.
we're doing night before/night of.
Yeah. Before we get into that, we do have a few developments, which we can talk about. Yeah. We're good. We're just.
Oh, it's
You can
fine.
interrupt us. No big deal.
We're just doing a
thank you.
podcast.
One thing I thought, maybe we should start giving people heads up when we're like rolling. Like,
We really should.
Crash the
Because
party.
people feel embarrassed to walk over, and we don't want people to feel embarrassed. You know, we
I
want.
mean, we're
people to
embarrassed
walk over.
enough. We're embarrassing ourselves as it is.
We are, yeah, for sure.
No, so a few developments. We finally, after like 50 episodes, picked up a website.
We did.
The
I'm
Night
excited
Before
about it. It's
podcast.com.
great. It's great.
It's just really a quick, simple,
But it's
landing
exactly what we
page.
needed.
right? So if you want to tell all your friends about us, just tell them. Go to the nightbeforepodcast.com.
Night Before podcast.
And
You can find all of our audio podcasts,
These
all
new
of our
videos.
video. We've had a couple so far. We're just started the video thing,
Instagram.
Instagram,
And
and
if you want to buy us a drink in a future episode, you have that ability. Not that you have to. We do
and
that,
if
but
you do, we will cheers you to
Yeah.
you on our next episode.
we just do it in there just for giggles. Just for
'cause
funsies.
It's fun.
Just
Why
for
not?
funsies.
Why
So
not?
that's nightbeforepodcast.com. Tell all your friends
And family
and close acquaintances.
and pets.
The pets won't help us out much. Yeah, so we saw The Fabelmans today, the Steven Spielberg Golden Globe winning
We had to. We're
semi-autobiographical.
preparing for the Oscars.
We feel it's going to get nominated. Feel it's our obligation to
So
see.
we saw it at the famous Tampa Theater.
And I think we saw it. We'll talk about it, I guess, in a little bit. But we saw it, I think, at the appropriate venue for that. We were back and forth. Do we see AMC?
For sure.
Do we go to the historic theater to see a movie about the love of filmmaking?
And we loved the Tampa Theater.
So we
However,
went.
we get a little hesitant at a over 2-hour movie because
Yeah.
the Tampa Theater's old school theater. They don't have like the cushy AMC seats where
Yeah.
you can put your
Back hurts after a while.
legs up. They don't have any of that. It's the old school wooden with a little bit of cushion theater seats.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit like, well, I don't know. It's like a 2-hour and 20-minute, 2-hour and 30-minute
Yeah.
movie.
So I'm happy to report I didn't
But
get. Maybe it's because we've been working out a lot. You know, with our we now because of our, I know we each have our own personal trainers.
should we make a workout podcast?
No.
We don't have personal trainers. But we have been on a health
thing.
journey
But
to get more fit
Yeah.
together, which has been really fun.
right,
Super
well, we're on
fun.
camera. We gotta
Super fun.
do something.
Yeah, super fun.
But so maybe it's because we've been working out more
We drink
and
a lot of beer.
exercising regularly, right?
We like beer, so we got to do something.
I didn't feel
to
as restless or
counteract it.
achy this time around.
I didn't either. See,
Yeah.
that's right. Because 6 months plus ago, we
Mm-hmm.
were both kind of having some back
Yeah, gone.
issues.
Gone.
And now that we've been working out consistently,
Mm-hmm.
the back issues are gone, even sitting in hard wooden seats for 2.5 hours. So cheers to that.
Yeah, between our personal trainers, our individual personal chefs, I think they're giving us the right food, the right exercise.
The personal chef is me.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we saw that, but we'll talk about that in probably the bulk of this conversation. But I think just really a quick highlight. It's not a don't sleep on because we both watched it.
Last night?
Yeah, without sleep. But we did watch The Outfit
Last night, yeah.
on
Okay.
Amazon Prime, I think.
I'll be back.
Take Master Richie with you.
This is the safest place right now.
Please, at least take that thing with you.
Too many hard boys out there.
You've been loyal customers. I depend upon you. Not once have I ever asked about your business. I don't judge. I just don't want to be involved in whatever it is you do.
English. You know exactly what it is that we do.
No, sir. I actually don't know anything. I don't know what that is. I don't know why all these gentlemen are looking for it. And if they come here, I won't be able to placate their suspicions. I'm useless to you. I'm a liability. I only just want to be left alone.
Yeah, we did finally. We had been kind of looking at it for a long time and never got around to watching
Well, I
it.
think it was a movie you had, correct me if I'm wrong. Here's my understanding of it. A movie you had no interest in seeing.
This is true.
Okay. A movie I had vague curiosity to see,
True.
but also wasn't gung ho about seeing it. Like
Right.
upon the trailer, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've read a little bit of chatter about it. It didn't really make anybody's top tens for the year,
No.
but a lot of people were like,
It's a pretty solid movie.
"That's a pretty good movie." The Outfit.
And here's what always happens.
Yeah.
You put on a movie
I
that
know.
I haven't
Well,
talked
you were
about
like,
I was like, I'm going down for a nap, and then I'm going to take a shower.
Yeah.
And I was just laying on the couch thinking I was just going to close my
Hans
eyes.
is about ready for the workout session.
And you put on a movie. You're like, well, I'm just going to put this
This
movie
is my
on.
opportunity. Let's get the outfit in.
You don't care if
because-
you see it or not.
Yeah.
So, of course, this always happens. I get completely sucked in.
Yeah.
I don't sleep at all. I am upset that I have to get in the shower because we had someplace to be
Yeah, we had obligations, multiple obligations.
last night. Excuse me. But when we got home
We
for our
watched about 30
obligations,
minutes
we
of
dialed
it.
it back
Yeah, yeah.
and watched the rest.
Yep. Mhm.
And I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a surprising movie. My
Yeah.
thought on it was I think the trailer misrepresented it. I
did
thought
too.
it was more of a, okay, for lack of a better term, a tailor. We know he's not a tailor.
He's a cutter.
He's a cutter. But I think if we say that and you haven't seen the outfit, it doesn't make sense. But for lack of a better term, it's sort of these like,
This fly loves us.
it's like these, I've seen a couple of these movies over the last few years, right? Where it's like a person is seemingly one way, like bland and boring, like the Mr. Nobody movie or whatever. But they really have this like secret assassin.
They have this
life.
like dynamic change throughout the movie.
But they've had this secret thing.
Right.
It's like, oh, everybody thinks they're a boring, drab person.
which is the perfect cover up for
And
what
then
they're
the
doing in
reality
real
is
life.
they are mad assassin with mad murder skills. Right?
Right. Which
And
is
you thought, my thought was the trailer, that's what this was. 1950s kind of gangster era. He is this tailor this Englishman who works in
he makes suits.
he makes suits in like a Chicago little suit shop. But that he's
Gentleman
really
shop.
Yeah, gentleman shop. And the trailer does kind of say, oh, sort of the mob guys come in and they have like a money drop off
They have
box.
a black box that
in
they kind
his-
of dropping things. They kind
Yeah.
of, and he knows. He
Well, no,
knows,
it's
but he
the-
kind of
it's
stays
the
out of their
agreement,
business.
yeah.
There, but there's an agreement between them
So the
that he
trailer-
lets them use his shop as like a cover up to whatever they're doing.
And then some bad stuff goes down, and the mobster guys all kind of end up in his shop, right?
Right.
And I thought the movie, based on the trailer, was going to be, oh, Old Englishman is really badass gangster, and he's gonna gunfight and win or whatever.
Right. It wasn't that
It's not that movie.
at all.
Instead, it's a super simple one location. Like it's like not low budget, but it's like mid budget. It
Yeah.
never leaves that shop.
No. I think it goes out to the street at some
Oh,
point.
it does a
but
street
just,
shot,
like, the
a
street in
sidewalk
front
shot.
of the
Yeah.
shop.
And it's just this like neat, low key kind of mobster whodunit mystery, like manipulative movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
you learn
that-
that he
you
is
really do get-
manipulating all these mobster guys in there.
Yeah.
And that was so good about it.
And you really get sucked in. And who's the actor? The Englishman?
I don't have his name in front of me.
And who's the actress?
I don't have any of their names in front
Okay.
of us.
I think the Englishman did a great job.
I think
His
everybody
role.
did really good.
But the girl, I was just really sucked in by her. I liked her look. I liked her acting. I liked her voice. I liked her tone. I just liked the way she dressed, her hair, like everything.
Well, she even talked in that like 1940s, 50s like movie actress talk.
Jargon, kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah. I
Yeah.
really, really,
Like, I'm going to get out of this town.
yeah, I was really drawn to her in that movie.
I got my sights for bigger things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how she talked. Wait till David Lynch makes an appearance on this podcast later.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we saw The Fabelmans.
Oh, God. Anywho. Yeah,
No,
so
so
I
it
really
was
liked
a surprise. I think I don't think it would have made my top 5 if we had seen it and
her.
podcast
It
about
would
it
have made
earlier.
my top 5 if we'd seen
but
it earlier.
now it's eligible for this year's top 5.
Now it's eligible for 2023. It's just safe. I think it's going to be a safe movie for both of us, unless we see like lots of terrible movies.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're off to a great start in that regard. Oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself.
You are
Playing a game. No,
playing a
but
game.
I will say
I
this
don't
about
even know what to believe when you say comments like that.
outfit, right?
Yes.
I think you nailed it. The look, great. Everything's just like muted browns and yellows. It looks
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It feels like you're in that tailor shop the entire movie. Like you feel like you're in there with them.
Kind of like a what's that movie we've seen?
While you're thinking of that, I had two movies that felt like, to me, a mix of two, because these are also two movies. They share each other, not in like tone or subject matter. Well, maybe subject matter a little bit, but it felt like Reservoir Dogs and Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
It's nothing like a Tarantino movie.
No. Nothing like that, but just the being in one location, kind of
not only-
conversations, kind of dramatic
And-
things happening within the one location.
But also not in conversations. Everyone's hiding something.
Right. Everyone's hiding. You don't know who's what. You don't know who's has relationships with whom. Everything's kind of a mystery. So that's kind of a fun part of it.
And that was what was surprising about it. It wasn't this like guns blazing, let's get into a shootout movie.
No.
It was.
Which that would have lost me if it was
I know,
like
and I thought
that.
that was what
Yeah,
the movie was going to
that's
be.
what I
Instead,
liked
it was
about it. It
a
wasn't
number
so-
of guys, gangster guys. Getting back in frame here.
Okay.
We're at a weird angle. A bunch of gangster guys sit in a room. It's blizzard outside, like Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
And each character starts learning little things. And as the viewer, you're learning things, but you
paranoia.
don't quite know the truth either.
Right. There's paranoia, there's clues, there's hiding of,
Yeah.
there's anxiety because of, hidden things that you know about as a viewer, but people in the scene don't know about. So all of that lent it to be a really great movie.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend
And
it.
this whole mysterious, the outfit, like mentioned throughout.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, it's being shot in one spot, one location. That's where the Reservoir Dogs Hateful Eight comparison is.
Right.
That like
That's what I was thinking.
just some folks trapped in a room and talking it out. And there's a lot of things that happen off camera, and that's where kind of like Reservoir Dogs, where you don't ever see it, right? The mob boss, the father guy, he shows up and then he leaves, and we hear a little bit about what happens to him, but we don't see it. They don't cut to it. They just
Clue you
you're like
into
the
it.
Englishman. He stays in that location, so it's all kind of from his, not necessarily his perspective.
I was surprised
But
how
this is fun.
late in the movie the girl came into the picture.
Yeah, well, she was in the very beginning.
She was in the beginning, but then she came.
Yeah.
She was gone, and through the dramatic part,
Yeah,
she came back late into
They
the
brought her
movie.
back, yeah.
From the trailer, it seemed like she was part of it the whole time.
yeah. I'm like, yeah. So good stuff.
Good stuff.
Surprise film.
Yeah.
Another big surprise was The Fabelmans.
Sammy, we're going to use Daddy's camera to film it. Only crash the train once, okay? Then after we get the film developed, you can watch it crash over and over till it's not so scary anymore. And your real train won't ever get broken. One more thing, Dolly. Let's not tell your father. It'll be our secret movie, just yours and mine. Okay?
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Do
want
you
you to
want me to
start
come
this
out with it?
time.
Because I've been making jokes about it.
Yeah. I want to know your
I
thoughts.
don't think it's a great film.
Okay.
I think it could have been a better film if old Stevie Spielberg focused on what was most compelling about that movie and story instead of himself. He's not the most compelling part of that movie.
I don't think he focused on himself.
The kid, it's the story about him as a kid filmmaker.
It's not, though.
No, it's not really. But what you see on the screen is that. I think it could have gone in a lot more depth to the better story, and that's the story between the parents.
I felt the story was about his mom.
No, it is. And here's the thing: whenever you're getting into, it's a story about his mom. Spielberg,
Which
I feel.
loved that part of it. Now, okay.
You're
I
always
did
going away
not
from Mike.
think, sorry. I did not think it was a amazing movie.
You think it should have won the Golden Globe?
No.
Yeah, I agree.
Although, and I hate to be wishy-washy like this because I want to make a commitment to one side or the other, but I'm definitely 50-50 on the movie. Like, I don't think it was a bad movie.
I didn't say it was bad. I said it's not a great film. I think it's a good movie.
There were
I think there are great movies in there.
There were things that stuck with me that I really, really liked. And there were things that I was just like, blah, whatever.
Well, that's what I mean.
You know?
Tonally, the movie jumps around a lot, and it even ends silly.
Oh, the ending is the best part.
It is, if you're focusing on the movie of the kid.
Oh, okay. No, I don't mean that ending.
That's how the movie ends. The movie ends with David Lynch doing a John Ford impersonation, and then making a joke about how to like put the camera.
That's
like
true.
that's your, as an audience member, you got to think about like, what's your last thought? Like, I don't think we're not going to do any like major spoilers in this, because I don't think it's a movie you like majorly spoil.
No. If you're going to see it, you're going to see
Spoiler alert, this kid goes on to direct E.T.
And Schindler's List.
and Jurassic Park. and like a zillion other great films.
There's no spoiler alert.
But so as an audience member, right? The last thing you're left with the movie is that's your lasting impression. In this movie, it's David Lynch, which I love, right? Being John Ford, the director of the film that he sees early on in the
so
as a
he's
teenager,
meeting his hero.
He's meeting his hero, and his hero gives him some good advice, but at the same time is also a human who is, I guess, womanizing and sleeping with his actors. He comes in with lipstick all over him, but he's also been torn apart by art, right? He has the patch over his eye. Right? Whatever. And he tells a joke / being serious about like where the horizon is, like how to make an interesting shot. And the movie ends. And there's even like a record scratch in that scene. Like, it's like Spielberg making fun of, which is my biggest complaint of Spielberg, like 2000s and on, that he's just like over sentimental. Like I always call Spielberg movies like sentimental slop.
Yeah.
And the kid is sitting in John Ford's office, and it has like that like great music, the like emotional film.
Mm-hmm.
David Lynch opens the door. Hey, it's David Lynch, which I think is also a subtle joke, like greatest director of all time.
Yeah.
John Ford, but also David Lynch. You know, it works.
Is John Ford still alive? No.
No. But then it's like, is David Lynch the greatest director? Like, it's also somebody.
Well, maybe to him.
But it's also somebody so opposite to what Spielberg does.
Right. Completely.
But then also, I don't know if you heard it, like there's a record scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, what you do in like sitcoms, right? But it's Spielberg like knowing, hey, I take myself too seriously. I'm a little sentimental, and then there's that whole silly exchange, almost like David Lynchian extended awkward pause. Like David Lynch doesn't talk for like 2 minutes. He just like lights his cigar. It's like an episode of Twin Peaks.
But to me,
But then the final thing is when he steps outside and he's like gonna make it in Hollywood. The camera is a boring shot, the boring horizon, and then it self-corrects, and everybody in the audience chuckled.
Yeah.
So the takeaway on this movie is, I don't know what, don't take life so seriously. It's all a joke.
To me, the David Lynch long cigar lighting thing was, okay, so you imagine being basically a 19, 20-year-old.
Yeah, he's like 20 years old.
And this moment is happening. To me, it was like the delay. You know how when something amazing is happening or something anxiety-ridden or when your nerves are on, everything is in slow motion delayed. Like, that is like one of his huge memories is the lighting of the cigar. And I think he's exaggerating it by making it this long.
And Spielberg would probably appreciate your interpretation.
But I have
versus
to say,
mine, Lynch being like, hey, Steve, let's be more dreamy with this. Let's get dreamy.
So, let me say this.
Say something. Help Stevie out.
I think.
Or Sammy.
You're right. I think there was
well, the movie ends earlier.
Okay, hold on. I haven't said what I'm trying
Michelle
to
Williams.
say yet.
Yeah. I know. I got it.
No, I'm not on Michelle Williams yet. I'm not there yet.
No, I was saying the other ending. The movie has two endings. You're right.
No. I'm not there yet.
Okay, you're not there yet.
Okay. I'm saying is you're correct in that the struggle of this movie was what to focus on.
Exactly.
There was two stories. There was the story of his upbringing, his parents, specifically his mother. And
Dealing
then
with
there
like
was
emotionally ill, like a mentally ill mother, yes.
I don't even know that she was that mentally ill. I think anyway, I'll talk about that later. But and then dealing with him as the upbringing of becoming a filmmaker. So you kind of had to choose. It's a biopic, I guess, and he put it all in there, but there was no focus on either side. You know, there was,
it pings pong back and forth, and even
and
some
the
of it.
better focus is
There's
kind of a tribute to his mom. That's the more interesting focus for me.
If he made a whole movie about it.
Yeah, if he had a whole movie about it. So you're right. The ending didn't fit if you were hung up on that. Oh, this is really about his mom. This is really about
Well, that's what I kept thinking.
the
I
influence she had over him, the whatever, her journey, her as a woman, as a anyway, I have more to say about that, but
say it.
That's you're
No,
right.
that was the best part of the film. I felt like Paul Dano's character wasn't even explored.
No,
The father.
because it wasn't focused on him.
I know, but there is an interesting dynamic between Paul Dano, Michelle Williams, and Seth Rogen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And neither Seth Rogen or maybe for better for Seth Rogen, Seth Rogen and Paul Dano, like they're both just like on the side. It is the Michelle Williams thing, and I think her performance was really good.
Her performance was excellent.
And every time her scenes, it was,
captivating.
oh, I wish this movie was this.
More focused on her. Like, let's dive deeper into
It
that.
was just, and that was, I think, one of my problems with this film. It was a bunch of snapshots. Like, it almost seemed like characters had their entrance and then they had their exit, right? It's, hey, here's a character. What is his name? Paul Hirsch, the guy who was in Murphy's Law, Murphy Brown, or whoever, right? The mom's brother, the mom's uncle.
Yeah.
He shows up. He has
don't know what
he
he
has
was
his
in,
moments. He arrives.
He's a good character.
He imparts some wisdom, and then
And it gives you a little peek into her
exit scene.
childhood
Yeah.
a little bit. Like with
same
him.
thing. And it's like the David Lynch. It's enter scene, exit scene. It's Seth Rogen's character, Benny. It's like enter, like he's there, and then it's like,
And he's a really good character,
And the Benny
too.
part is done. It's now let's talk about the high school girlfriend.
Right.
Here's the high school girlfriend. She's and again, and tonally, it's this wacky, hyper exaggerated
Christian,
religious Christian
Catholic, whatever.
girl, right? Sexually repressed, Catholic girl, and so
Yeah,
like
that was kind of a
let's have-
weird, like out of. I mean, basically, it's his high school experience, but
yeah, but probably exaggerated,
at
obviously.
first I thought like, well, this woman becomes his wife. That's why we're focusing on this. But no,
Yeah,
it's
no,
not.
but it's also this like the only character. I guess my point is the only character that's really treated not respectfully, in a more authentic or just whatever is the Michelle Williams, is the mother character. Everybody else almost seems to be caricatures. Even Paul Dano, everything he taught, like, is every conversation you have about electromagnetism
I
and
know.
computers
Yeah.
and whatever, right?
That's I think maybe as a child that's his memory, because children remember just snippets of things.
Yeah, but he obviously
about their
had-
parents and about like this is his recollection of his dad
But here's
growing up.
But here's the interesting
like
part.
every time my dad talks, he talks about
But whenever they got,
magnetism
I can
or
see that as the
whatnot.
child part. But again, what's the more interesting movie, right? Post-divorce, which isn't even like explored.
no.
You get
you're
one
true.
scene where Paul Dano or the father and Sam are living together in an apartment in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Right? that whole
He's like
thing
in
is
college. No, they're not even living together because he said he was driving.
he drives back and forth, but it's captivating, right? They've gone from the super fancy mid-century modern, what I guess was century modern
Huge
at the time,
home.
Post-divorce.
With him being the only one making money. So
Yeah.
why is he living in like an apartment like that?
Yeah.
Because she didn't work.
I said, but there's obviously like a father-son
Maybe
dynamic
it's showing
there.
that he was trying to do that for her, like
Yeah.
making her happy, making his family
But,
happy.
but
where
you're
he
saying
just,
like what you remember about a father, like it's just the
Yeah.
tech talk, but there was more there later, and so as I said, the things I thought were interesting were just not explored.
True. Here's what I liked about
But
it.
it had some poignant things in there, obviously.
Michelle Williams' monologue at the end was fantastic.
Well, of course, and I think
It's fantastic.
that monologue tips the hat of like what could have been a better movie. I mean, she says the line, "You can't live your life for anyone. No
for
one
someone
else.
else.
You don't know your life
You
to
don't
anyone."
owe your life to anyone, and
And she's saying, including
you and I
including your
have felt
children.
that in our lives,
Yeah.
and so it really like resonated with me, including the fact that you had
Place is blown up.
it is blown up, that you had 3 children with a man that you respect and like, but you're not in love with.
I had 3 children with the man.
She did.
Oh, okay. I was making sure. I didn't know.
Shut up.
No, I lost my train of thought because all these people are showing up.
So I thought that was so poignant and so rare back in that time period for
Yeah.
a woman to, and okay, I'm not attacking you in this regard in any way, but
Defense
to
is
say
up.
that she suffered from mental illness is a little heavy because
I'm not
I
saying-
think
I'm
she
not
lived
saying-
a life of trying to be someone she wasn't.
I'm not.
And that weighed on her, and it showed up as anxiety, depression, panic attacks.
Which is,
stuff like that.
she was mentally struggling with things. Yes.
So
she bought a
if-
monkey.
So if you live a life that that you don't feel part of,
No, I agree that, but
and I totally
I get that.
connected with that part
but
of the
she
movie
was, but
in my past.
the way she was presented and acted out, it was the way she was responding to things was not a normal response, and it almost felt weird at times, like the piano scene with her fingernail clipping. And I get it, as the movie going on, she's placed herself. That's what I'm saying. There's
No, see, I took something different as a woman.
but what I'm saying is
See,
there's
this
an
is
interesting
a woman-man.
No, I agree.
thing.
But what I'm saying is the more interesting movie there is there's this weird dynamic between Michelle Williams, Paul Dano, and Seth
Yeah.
Rogen. And it's unspoken.
Yeah.
There's a more interesting movie if that is explored. But instead, it's not. So what you do, you get for 75% of the movie, you get Michelle Williams coming off as manic and strange.
I didn't get that. I didn't see that.
So is a normal reaction the way when they were like, "We're going to clip your
Oh, no,
fingernails"?
that was abnormal.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying every scene of her.
Okay,
I'm
so
saying key
here's
scenes, and I don't know.
what I read from that.
And I think it was just Spielberg missing the way to do it.
You babies.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I read that as her nails like that were a part of her life that she was living that wasn't her. And then because she could have been a concert
No.
pianist.
I get all that. I'm saying.
So when they, she slowly was chipping away at the person that she really wanted to be, who she was able to be at the end.
I get all of that. I'm saying the way it was directed and written and performed.
Mm-hmm.
She is saying, "Oh my gosh, not my nails! No, not my nails!" And
Yeah,
then,
no, that
and
was
then
kind
Seth
of a
Rogen
ridiculous
picks
scene,
her up,
yeah.
and then Paul Dano picks her up,
Yeah.
and then she's like, "Oh no, not my nails!" And then they clip her nails, and then she turns on a dime, and says, "I'll do it myself," and gets up and walks out, and then curtsies. So what I'm
Yeah,
saying
that was
is,
a little
that's
dramatic.
my point.
I
I agree with your read on. I had the same read. I'm just saying the way it's written on the page. Obviously you learn there's more going on there, but I don't know. It's just the way. I think the way he initially puts her on there. She could get Best Actress nomination or win if it was directed differently. by Spielberg.
Yeah, that specific scene I thought was
Well, the car
strange
dancing
and over
thing
the
was a little
top.
strange. There was, like I said, there were things. The monkey, but some of it, when I was watching it, I was like, okay, we're just going to put this as from the child's perspective. Mom's kind of
Definitely
off
the
her
child's
rocker.
perspective. And I mean, she was drunk in the car dancing scene, and I felt like that was a symbolism of like, okay, she had drank too much, but she was expressing her like ability to kind of be free of like her freedom or ability to kind of.
No, and like I said, I still think all of it, Michelle Williams, is the highlight of this movie.
So I liked that story. I liked
No,
how
I like her
the
story.
story she was telling. I liked the mother. I read some information about Steven Spielberg's mother in real life. Her name's Leah.
Yeah.
And she, they never mentioned mental illness or anything
No,
anywhere.
and I wasn't trying to insinuate that I thought she had like suffering, but she was mentally and emotionally struggling, for
Which
sure. But I felt the
anyone
way.
in a situation like she was would be mentally and emotionally
But here's the thing I'm saying about
That's
this
what I'm
movie
saying.
is, I don't think Spielberg did a good job of making that movie.
But he's also looking at it from, you're right, his child perspective.
I think we're giving,
his...
but I think we're giving Spielberg the out on that because he's Spielberg.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying. I'm thinking because is it a movie that looks good? Is it well directed? Like, here's the thing. Spielberg, I feel, he knows how to make a movie look good on screen. I don't think heart is something he lacks sometimes.
Heart?
Yeah, like genuine heart.
Right.
I think he can be sentimental.
Yeah.
But I think true feeling and heart is something. I don't know. That's this movie. I was struggling. A couple thoughts I was struggling about, and some of it's just the story surrounding the movie. Spielberg's acceptance speech saying, "I finally had the courage to make this movie," and I'm like, "What?" Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be.
Right.
Okay.
I thought there was going to be more like sexual abuse or
I'm
something.
saying, well, everybody's like, oh,
he went through divorce.
It gets dark. Okay.
Like a lot of people in this world.
Well, there was stuff in this, like our family, like this, the one scene where the sisters were like, our family's falling apart. I'm like, I guess it is, but it's not like
that's how you feel as a child.
end of the world falling apart.
No, yeah, the courage to make this movie. I mean, I guess letting people into your private life
And experiencing anti-Semitism in
bullying.
high school and bullying. I get that too. But I couldn't see the.
Yeah, when he did say that speech, I thought there was going to be a little more like, something like deep, dark, hidden. I mean,
Which I'm glad there wasn't. Be honest.
But there wasn't.
I don't want to wish
it's
things
hard
bad.
to, as a boy, to discover your mom's affair or whatever, that she's in love with someone else. I figure that's a very emotional, difficult time. Although, speaking of that, going in another direction, I did love the mother-son relationship.
Yeah, the kind of ups and downs of it all.
I really did
Topsy-turvy.
love his mom's honesty with him. Like, not kind of painting over it, just kind of being their discussions. Like, he was old enough to kind of understand. And it is what it is. Like, you can't really hide it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did like that. And I do think that was probably traumatic for him as a boy. But yeah, when he said that speech, I thought it was just something more traumatic.
Well, it kind of is some. But again, glad there isn't. But I don't know. I wasn't excited to see the movie when it came out. I heard some good buzz about it. Got the award. Glad we saw it, but I just didn't really connect with it the way that I guess some people are. And my other problem with it,
I didn't either. I connected with Michelle Williams' performance.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I guess that was my takeaway. It's like I wish it was that movie.
Yeah. I agree.
So I don't know.
And then even like at the campground when she had gotten like drunk, they showed like the little Jim Beam and the tent when she was going to sleep, I was like, oh, his mom's going to be like an alcoholic. No, they never like went further with that.
Yeah.
That was just a camping trip. I mean, all parents go out camping and a lot of parents go out camping and drink and maybe drink a little too much, but there was no like, oh no, that's not it. Neither of his parents were alcoholics. Neither of his parents he had a pretty good upbringing overall.
Yeah, I mean, baseball was presented on screen.
Based on what was presented on screen, was his mom maybe slightly bipolar or something?
That's
maybe.
what I meant. Like, maybe she was manic or bipolar. I don't know.
But I mean,
or like I said, or just stuck in a life, and that was
stuck
that
in
was
a life that
so
she wasn't
the poignant
ready for.
point of the movie, which I think is one can connect with, is you have to follow your passion, and though your passion might conflict with your family's expectations of you,
you'll never be happy if you just stay in that.
yeah.
Passion.
But if you're
And
really
I connected with
passionate,
that message.
if you're really passionate about something, you'll work hard for it, and you'll get there.
And you'll get it. You'll
right?
go for it.
And that was Paul Dano with his computer work. That's Sammy with his film work.
Yeah.
That's Michelle Williams with her like emotional love
with the other guy.
with Benny.
And yeah, I mean,
And so that's the poignant point of the movie. I just feel it just gets like lost along the way.
that's the theme of the movie.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about something, you can't let other people basically dim your flame.
And that's a really good theme.
A really great message.
Yeah. That's a really good point of the movie.
It was just super spread out.
It's just the way, I think it's the way it bounces between very serious, very silly.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it gets communicated as well with the kid's story versus the adult story.
True. Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's all.
True. Yeah.
So that's my.
But it was fun.
So
to
yes,
see
no, I
it.
really liked it in the theater. Like I said, I didn't hate the Fabelmans. I liked it. I think it was good.
I didn't hate it. I liked it. And there
but-
was just like, if I could play Michelle Williams' last monologue, I loved that. It was very touching. It was very poignant. It was very now here's the theme of the movie
know
at
what
the
I like?
very end.
I mean, one thing I really liked about the movie too, I connected
I
with,
love that.
is in like high school or college, I had those like 8mm film cameras.
You liked all the
that he was using.
nostalgic
And I
camera
was
stuff.
like, I sat in my room and I cut the film and I glued it together and all that stuff.
I mean, that was really fascinating in the movie. How
And that part, and some of the another positive, and Don, some of the sound design, just the way to hearing the film when he's like editing and he's rolling that film reel, especially when he's discovering the stuff about his mom.
the sound, how it slows down.
Yeah, and but it's also just you hear the
Yeah.
film
Yeah,
scraping
yeah,
against the reel,
Right.
and he's going forward and backwards.
Oh, and
That
the
is
part when she sits in his closet and discovers kind
Mm-hmm.
of like what he's been seeing, and that was really a really dramatic moment.
so there's some good stuff.
Yeah, there's some
For
good
sure.
stuff
I'm
in the
gonna
movie,
lean in,
but it's
'cause
not.
it's,
we are losing light.
We are at the witching hour, as they say,
goodness.
but I think we've done good.
Yeah, we've done good. This was fun.
It was good. I like talking
got
about the
busy here.
Fabelmans. Yeah, it popped up.
I mean, it
And,
might win an Oscar, so it's good.
we'll see where it fares on our Oscar pre-show when it comes out. But then part of it, I mean, we know part of the awards game is, right,
So,
Spielberg, right? So, he's
yeah.
sometimes it's not your current work, but your body of work that gets the win or the nomination.
And I found out from my research that this is fun fact.
Yeah, fun facts.
We're back to fun facts.
Yeah. I'm going to lean in for fun facts. Lean in for fun facts.
Fun facts.
All right, fun facts.
Anne,
All
his
right.
sister, one of the sisters,
One of the two sisters.
co-wrote. Oh shit, I forgot. Co-wrote.
Jurassic Park.
No, a Tom Hanks movie. Big, maybe?
I
Or
couldn't
another
tell.
Tom Hanks
Okay,
movie.
a Tom Hanks movie.
I forgot it now. I had it. Big or
Big
I
Two.
don't remember, but she's in film as well as far as
Okay.
writing. That's because you think like, okay, so where are the sisters now?
One thing I'll tell you, I'm glad this movie wasn't,
Should we lean in
was
more?
like extended recreations of like all the movies he made as a kid.
Oh yeah,
They put in just the right amount of the fun
Yeah.
of like youthful filmmaking.
yeah, and he really got a lot of. he got a lot of confidence and recognition from that. So,
All right. So that's pretty good, I think. I think we've got our vibe on
the Fabelmans?
on the Fabelmans, whether we love it or hate it. It's in the middle.
Yeah, for sure.
But Michelle Williams gets our
Seal of approval.
seal of approval.
And she does resemble his mom a bit. She has the pixie blonde haircut.
Okay.
And all that.
Yeah, the kind of. I don't know what our next one will be now. Our next episode.
No, I don't either. But we are preparing for our Oscar picks.
Yeah. Once
There's
those
an
nominations.
Oscar pre-show picks.
Yeah.
And then an Oscar.
We have another episode
do a
of
live
Interest of
stream.
Love to do.
Gotta work on that. We're watching. Ooh, should we say we're watching another series
Nope.
right now? Nope. We're not gonna say that.
Because we're not going to podcast about it.
We're not.
No.
Nope. Not even telling you about it.
Yeah, so whatever other movie pops up is what we'll do.
Okay.
All right, so I
Cheers.
think we're going to cheers here. And, oh,
You are way.
are we in the things?
Yeah,
I was
we're in
making sure the
thing.
mic got it.
What?
No, it got it. It got it. We're good. Okay. I guess
All
it's
right.
time to go.
This was fun.
Since we have zero light.
0 light.
See what I can fix
It's
in
dark.
post.
It's dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.